Hey everybody, Ian here. I haven't done this in a long time, and there is absolutely no structure. There are no headers or frames or art or anything else to this. But I thought I'd just go live this weekend. So if you're paying attention to this, thank you so much for sharing some of your weekend with me. That's very kind of you. A few days ago, got an offer from a friend of mine that I could not refuse. He asked if I wanted to come and observe a hackathon in San Francisco over the weekend. Irony being, I'd literally just been in San Francisco only a few days earlier. But I said yes because I couldn't pass him up because the focus of this hackathon is two different things that really are very exciting and relevant to me, frankly. The first is AI for Good. AI for Good. For anyone who anyone who read Intelligent Automation, Welcome to the World of Hyperautomation, that I co-authored with Pascal Bornet and Johan Wirtz. We talk about how AI can help, and intelligent automation can help make the world more human. And it can do that by helping us to advance our research and our efforts and our operations in healthcare, in education reform, and environmental stewardship, and other things like that. So AI for Good was enticing enough. But the theme of this hackathon goes further. This is a GPT-4 hackathon, GPT-4 hackathon. So the generative AI space obviously exploding. If you haven't seen it, paid attention to it, heard it, then you're living under a rock. If you haven't played with ChatGPT or some equivalent in the last few days and weeks, then you're just not very interested in this space, or truly living under a rock, or you've just been really busy and you've got other things to do. But if you haven't played with it, play with it. If you have played with it, like the rest of us, you know that it is truly extraordinary. I published a blog only 2 days ago, basically saying that this time it doesn't feel like bullshit. I spent a lot of my career talking about how the promise of and the magic of AI doing everything right out of the box and understanding your business, cleaning your data, transacting automatically for you was a distraction, frankly. It held us back from making the real advancements that were possible with the technologies that were available in the day. But fast forward to the last few months, and I think we can all agree it's truly extraordinary what is happening and the pace that it's happening at. So I'm here this weekend in San Francisco. I'm looking out my hotel room right there at the Bay Bridge, and the ferry building is right across the street, and that's where the hackathon will be. I'm just going to be observing. Someone asked me earlier today if I'd be hacking, which was very sweet of them to think I'm even remotely qualified or smart enough to do that. But I'm going to just be absorbing. I'm going to be a sponge. I'm going to hopefully talk to as many people as I can. Not distract the hacking, or it's a distractathon, which is not what they want it to be. And so aspiring not to make it a distractathon, but I do want to learn as much from these folks as possible. Really, who are they? What are their backgrounds? How did they develop the skills to be hacking? And then we'll see what the themes are too. The doors open in an hour and a half, so I'm going to go grab some breakfast. They'll have a commencement speech. I'll report out from that as far as what it is that they are talking about. And then after the commencement speech, they will declare the missions, right? And then coding begins at 11 o'clock. And then it goes until tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, at about the same time, 11 a.m. tomorrow. So 24 hours of coding, which is just cool. Maybe I'll bring some folks some Red Bull in an attempt to not be distracting. And also there'll be VCs here. This whole thing is here. I'm looking at my notes. It's hosted by Shack15, which is where it is. It's hosted by cerebralvalley.ai and internetactivism.org. So that's exciting. And then there's a bunch of sponsors, many of the VCs in the area who are taking a look at this generative AI trend will be there. And then the judges are a whole other story. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's it. So just wanted to give you a heads up. This was too good to pass up. I'm really excited to see what happens, to see what the challenges they face are, see how they go about addressing them, and frankly, see how quickly they can do pretty astounding things. Because I think that's been all of our experience now is thanks to the capability of the large language models, and even more so now the the introduction of APIs and plugins are making this truly a playground that's really only limited by your imagination, frankly. So that'll be cool to see, and I'll share the updates as we go. And I think that's it. If you've got any questions for me, please do hit me on LinkedIn. Follow me on LinkedIn if you aren't, so you can see these updates as they come out. And put your questions in a comment or DM me or whatever the cool kids are doing these days, and I'll try to ask somebody who's far smarter than me what an answer is for those questions. The other thing I guess I'd mention is just by good timing, I suppose, and perhaps some luck, I just had a course on LinkedIn Learning go live last week, 2 weeks ago, on an introduction to conversational AI, which is a component of this, right? Because what's so interesting and powerful about this generative AI is both the algorithmic capabilities of it, but also the interface, is your ability to just communicate via natural language and ask it to do things. And that's really changed in leaps and bounds from where it was only a few years ago. And so the course that I teach is talking about that, is about the both spoken and typed or written word abilities of computers to interact with us, which is actually democratizing our access to this capability, because you don't need to be a Python programmer anymore. You don't need to even know how to do some of the complexities that were still involved in the low code movement of visual drag and drop, but then you still had to plug some things in and clean some stuff up, and etc. That is getting even easier and easier. So one day, simpletons like me might even be able to build apps, which I think I probably could today. I'll try my hand at that at some point. But there you have it. So stay tuned, tune in. I'll go live a few more times. We'll see if the channel deals with that, or if LinkedIn just full on shuts me down. I'm also going live over Twitter and YouTube as well. So thanks so much. And I will share updates with you very soon from the hackathon in San Francisco this weekend. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.